Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel. Thanks so much for your time, for tuning into our show today. You know, one of the great things about having returning guests to On Deck with Avoya is our ability to do an even deeper dive on certain topics. So today we're pretty excited to discuss details of the new Avoya Air program, as well as understanding just how much back-end work goes into understanding and applying vendor promotions. These are the little things that sometimes you don't understand when you're thinking about doing things on your own, but the value of having that amazing resource, well, you're just about to discover when Avoya Insider Brandon Gatti, Senior Director of Promotions for Avoya Travel, joins us for an exclusive Q&A. Brandon was great the first time we had him on the show. We look forward to finding out more on how that crucial resource helps the Avoya network sell more and achieve their agency goals. Brandon will be with us here in just a moment. We're also going to take a moment to highlight Avoya promotions, including our ongoing discount for active and retired military members and their spouses. Fast approaching the 1-year anniversary. Where does the time go? But 1-year anniversary for the travel agent education powered by Avoya platform. We have lots of exciting news there. We're going to take a moment to brag about the amazing resources available exclusively to those in the Avoya network, and we'll wrap up the big show today by highlighting our social media contacts and all the ways that you can reach out, start the process to be part of the #1 network in leisure travel, and we're proud that is the Avoya Travel Network. Okay, let's kick it off this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I've been chomping at the bit to have this guy return to the hot seat. When are you coming on the show, Brandon, I would ask? When can we schedule you for another appearance at On Deck with Avoya? Let's talk air. Let's talk promotions. The answer was always soon, soon, soon. Well, the wait is over. The time is now. So help me welcome my Avoya Insider guest this week, Brandon Gatti, Senior Director of Promotions to On Deck with Avoya. Brandon, so great to have you back on the show, my friend.
Thank you so much, Chris. And some things are worth waiting for. Hopefully, this interview is. I'm excited to be here and to be chatting with you and to all of the people listening in.
Fantastic. We're excited, obviously, as well. So before we get too far into this week's Q&A, Brandon, maybe you can give us your backstory for those who missed your first appearance, a little bit about your history in the travel business and how you ended up at your current spot at Avoya Travel.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, Avoya was my first real job out of college, and obviously then also my start in my journey in travel. I actually just celebrated 11 years with Avoya 2 days ago. So been here a while, and the cool thing is I started when the department was brand new. Avoya kind of had this idea that, hey, promotions are kind of getting to be a big deal, and they're kind of complicated too. What if we had a team that, lived and breathed the promotions? And I was lucky to be maybe the second person on board. So I've gone from promotions assistant all the way to senior director today. I've seen a lot of growth both in the industry and within our department. The things that we're doing today, I don't think we would have dreamt of those 11 years ago. And that's one of the things I love most about this company and the industry is you got to change, right? You got to stay on top of what's coming next. So that's a little bit about me. And I think this interview will show that we're doing a lot of cool things today.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about the role that you were talking about as the Senior Director of Promotions and how that impacts the Avoya network, a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like and how that has evolved.
Yeah, great question. So we're currently a team of four, small but mighty. And really what our goal as a department is to do really what Avoya seeks to do all over the place, right? Give the sellers more time to sell by trying to simplify the things that take up the most amounts of time. So really our main goal is we receive the terms and conditions from the vendor for the various promotions that they might have going on. And our goal is to take what we get and really enhance and add to it so that it's consistent across specialties. We know that our agents, all travel professionals, right? They don't just sell one product. They have to be able to sell whatever it is their clients are looking to do. So they're often changing hats, going from mass market to luxury or from product type to product type. So we try to be that through line. So no matter if they're looking at Carnival terms or Oceania terms, they're hearing our Avoya voice and it's digestible. The information that's important to them, it's always found in the same places. We also try to be additive to the experience. So from our years of experience, and I mentioned myself 11 years, but across the team, we have another team member 9 years, 8 years. So a lot of great experience. And what we try to do is take that experience and apply it to every situation we find ourselves in, right? What kind of questions do we know that travel professionals are gonna ask, but maybe the vendor hasn't answered yet? Let's ask those questions up front so that by the time it gets to the travel professional, they have everything they need. So that's really kind of our goal, and it really kind of spirals out from there, right? The promotions are at the center, but we provide support to the agents. So if they have questions, if things didn't go as planned, we're there to help them figure that out and get life back on track. We do weekly webinars so that all the promotions, there's so many, right? So we help kind of cut through that, tell them, hey, here's the changes to this promotion that you might be familiar with, or here's what's coming up next, here's what's expiring. You should use it as a sense of urgency. And then from there, anything from in-person to virtual events like this, where we can talk to the travel agents a little bit more and really connect with them one-on-one, help them through the problems that they're experiencing.
Because I think anybody, and my experience is before working for Avoya, before working in network expansion, I was an affiliate in the Avoya network. And you can look at one vendor's promotion and you can look at another vendor's promotion. And while they may both have a common language that you would think is English, in reality, you feel like you're looking at two completely different languages sometimes. So you said a great thing a minute ago about you always hear that Avoya voice so that it helps you find that commonality amongst those, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to your point, what vendor A and vendor B could be saying the same exact thing, but they say it so differently that you start to get inside your own head of like, what are they saying? What can I offer my client? And we want to remove that roadblock of kind of trepidation or kind of hesitation to put a promotion in front of a client. We want them to gain confidence and understand so that they're putting their best foot forward in terms of having a conversation with the client and showing their expertise.
One of the things that I think is so important about your team, Brandon, is that it goes right to the heart of what we're all about at Avoya Travel, this shared success, business model, because the things that you help those in our network understand directly impact their ability to close a sale. Because if you don't understand the nuances of the promotion, what you can offer the client, what makes this better than something that they're going to find other places, or a similar product, then your chances of closing that go down. So bravo for helping people make more money.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You know, promotions are such an essential piece because consumers are so deal driven today, right? They want to know what's the best deal, what's in it for them, and they're super smart these days as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about something that I've been, obviously been bugging you to come on, and we've been trying to make sure we worked out all the kinks and all the little bugs. And while there's probably still some kinks and bugs to work out, that's just the way life goes. Let's talk about Avoya Air, Brandon. I'm so excited
Yes.
about that. Share what you can, our new program, and then I'll probably have some questions along the way too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been in beta with this program for many months now, and officially on November 1st, we were able to take our Avoya Flights and Hotels program and launch it to the entire Avoya network. So really what that means for the network is competitive airfares with, assuming you're looking at direct as an option or maybe vendor airfare, right? Competitive fares, and I think the most important part of all of this is the idea that you could make commission selling air. I think that there's this idea that sometimes there's no money in air, especially when you're booking vendor airfares and such, right? There's usually no incentive there. So to be able to provide some airfares that are, because we'll be completely honest, not all airfares are commissionable. The airlines very much are in control of this game and how much money they give out and where. But the good news is there is money to be made there, and on top of that, with our hotels program, we get to have the benefit of a lot of our partnership with the Travel Leaders Network. They have some incredible hotel programs where you could be offering your clients exclusive amenities that they wouldn't be able to get by booking direct or elsewhere, and hope and make guaranteed commission on those hotels as well. So we're really excited about that. And to kind of go along with everything, we just launched a brand new educational series of lessons. So if you're brand new to air, never sold it before, never thought you would, hopefully it should be really easy to come in, get kind of spun up, and then jump right in and see how easy it is.
Let's look at that from the other standpoint. What if you're somebody that decides to join the network, but you have a lot of experience? You've been booking high-end luxury travel for some time now, and what you really need to understand is that this program is going to make you competitive in a very competitive industry. Would you say that we're on the right path there?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Kind of what we want out of this is giving them another tool for their tool belt, right? We're excited to present a platform that allows our independent agencies to become full service. So they're going to book that flight somewhere, right? They got to get to their vacation. So why not be the one that sells it to them, and why not be the one who's handling every aspect of their vacation? So that's kind of where our head's at, and we realize it might not be for everybody, but just to have that option to be able to provide that to your clients, I think is a huge benefit to the network.
And of course, as in all things Avoya, right? I mean, being a very technology forward company, again, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but this is the beginning. Avoya always has a beginning, a middle, it continues to grow. So there's going to be future evolutions of this program that I think are going to really be game changer like. Would you not agree with that?
100%. Yeah, we have a actual new iteration of the program that's set to come out in hopefully Q1, if not early 2024. That's just going to make things better in terms of ease, in terms of having all the information up front that you would need to complete a sale. A lot of cool technology, some things that I can't share exactly just yet, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Avoya, we're not ever going to sit still when we've kind of started something. We always want to innovate and see where we can take things, truly.
Absolutely. Brandon Gatti, Senior Director of Promotions, is our returning Avoya Insider guest this week. Brandon, you must get great satisfaction when you're working with those in our Avoya network and you're able to hear back from them that they've used maybe some of the detailed promotional information, or they were able to use something in the Avoya Flights program to help them achieve their business goals. Because at the end of the day, that is kind of part of the whole reason that all of us are employed. But I'm assuming that's a pretty nice win-win for you and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal is to really save the IA's time. Again, let them focus on selling because certainly they don't want me selling. So let's give the IAs every tool they can to be consistent, across their specialties. And it's absolutely fulfilling, especially, when we're able to talk to a travel professional and have them learn something new, right? Maybe they come to our webinars and ask a question, and we're able to really walk them through the answer from A to Z and hopefully give them some perspective maybe they hadn't thought of before. And sometimes we do hear back, hey, it was great talking to you. I ended up closing that sale. And, that's just incredible to hear. I think, promotions are complicated. There's no beating around that, right? But if we can make it a little bit easier, I think the silver lining is it's confusing for the customers too. So promotions really allow an independent agency, a travel professional, to show their expertise, not just in product knowledge, but also in guiding them to truly what is the potential best deal, or just even outlining different options that maybe the client hadn't thought of before.
That's a really fantastic point, that yet another, tool, as you said, in the tool belt that they could use as a closing skill that again goes back to the bottom line, which increases the direct deposit, which makes them more successful. I mean, we can see how one win really builds upon the other. One of the things, Brandon, I wanted to talk to you about is that, you're talking about hosting these webinars and dealing directly with some in our independent affiliate network. Um, a lot of the people that watch our show are new to the industry. So I'm wondering if you've noticed that there are certain traits that the great agents have that if you were offering advice to a wannabe travel agent, you might say they should emulate, like you should be better at this or better at that.
Sure. And I would almost flip the question a little bit, right? I think certainly I would invite the agents to find some kind of community, right? Come to the events. Voya has a Facebook page where a lot of great questions are asked. Pick people's brains. It's not a one size fits all. So being able to hear a lot of different perspectives. And the nice thing is, I think that at least I can only speak towards the Avoya Travel Network, right? But they're very welcoming. It's not like, oh, I don't want to talk to this new IA and give them all my tips or they're going to steal all my business. It's really not like that. I would almost encourage new independent agencies to look around and look at others who are new to travel, who are currently excelling, and find out what systems work for them, right? Because I think those new to travel who are coming in and excelling, they're figuring it out as they go. And so they're much closer to, yeah, here's the processes that work for me, and here's what really elevated my business. But I think the most encouraging and exciting thing I've seen coming out to and talking to new to travel is they're hungry to learn. They're hungry to get in and start figuring things out. They're asking questions and they're preparing themselves really for situations that haven't occurred yet. And I think those are the kinds of traits that will let you be successful, right? Like, let's make sure we understand our specialty A to Z before we get on the phone with a client. So we're not, you're going to be surprised, right? You're eventually going to be surprised by something, but the more you can prepare for, here's how I can have this conversation, or if my client was looking to do, let's say this cruise tier, here's how I would sell it. So that would kind of be my advice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this sounds like a great time to say Laura Burke and her amazing, early success program is exactly the kind of things that's a resource that we provide again here at Avoya Travel, because it's that resource that allows you to be able to take advantage of some of the things that Brandon and his resource provides, which helps you take advantage of things that are in our brand sales, right? It's like being a kid and being in the whirlpool and everybody's going in the same direction. And sooner or later, you create this energy in and of itself. It's one thing feeds upon another, feeds upon another. And that's how you end up becoming successful.
Absolutely. And, every team at Avoya is really focused on that, right? Because, it sounds almost cliche, but the shared success model is absolutely true. If the independent agencies of our travel professionals don't succeed, then we truly don't succeed. So you have amazing teams like Laura Burke's team and the brand sales team, a lot who are former travel professionals themselves, who have successful travel professionals, I should add, who have tons of insight that they can share. So certainly, I think the one of the coolest things about Avoya is how much knowledge there is to share and how many people are willing to just sit down and share that with you if you want to listen.
No doubt about that. What about you personally, Brandon, when you get a chance to be away from the office? Any fun travel adventures that have happened in the recent past that you'd care to share, or anything fun, on the near future?
Yeah, actually, in a few hours from now, I'm getting on a plane headed to Las Vegas for the Formula One Grand Prix. So, I've listened to Scott from the Los Angeles Convention Board talk so much about this event. I'm a big Formula One fan myself, so really excited to get out there and see what that's all about. And as well, taking Virgin Voyages for the first time in April. So really excited to see a fairly new supplier to the industry and see what they've been able to accomplish thus far.
Man, I thought I was going to hit you with a surprise F1 question, but I guess you're already ahead of me on that. So I wanted to pick your brain because I want this whole race in Las Vegas. It's all over the news. And I wanted to get your thoughts both as a fan and then maybe also as a travel professional, because when this was first announced, right, they were talking about the highest room rates in the history of Las Vegas. And now it seems like maybe some of that hype didn't match the reality. What are your thoughts, both as a fan and as a travel professional, about this big event this weekend in Las Vegas?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's its first of its kind in terms of bringing an event to Las Vegas of this size. Obviously, Las Vegas is the capital of big events and all types of things that they do. But still, it's a massive undertaking. So I think there are some things that they probably got right and some things that they'll probably have to adjust for next time. But certainly, if you have clients, especially a Formula One fan base who is extremely diehard, right? If you have someone who's interested, there's a lot of commission to be made there across the hotels, across other partners who I know have kind of put packages together for certain things. So there's a lot of options and inventory to sell still too.
Very good. Well, I hope you have a good time. It should be exciting. It doesn't start till 1 a.m. my time, so I'm going to have to catch the recap over coffee when I wake up the following morning. But what do you love about travel in general, Brandon? I mean, what about those kind of adventures just excites you?
Yeah, for me, I think it's really the shared experience, right? So whether you're going with a friend, a significant other, whether you're there, maybe by yourself with like-minded people who have share similar interests, it's such a cool way to make new connections that maybe you didn't see there before, you didn't think about. And even, when you're there in whatever destination you're in, an opportunity to learn about people that you would have never connected with before. So for me, I think that's really it. And, as I'm thinking about the travel industry itself, I think it's the people. We have such cool people that we work with internally and externally. So it's really just an exciting industry to be in. And if you love to travel, like I'm sure a lot of us do, it's a great place to be, right?
No doubt about that. Brandon, a few more before we go, but I wanted to first give you an opportunity to share with us any important information that maybe I just forgot to ask about so far.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much that you missed, but I think one thing that I can think of, as we're talking about new to travel so much over the course of this interview, I can say that myself and a member of my team, Laura Earhart, are going to be involved in the upcoming new IA event that our events team is hosting here in early December. So, it's for agencies who are within their first year with Avoya, but in terms of our workshop, we're going to be really talking about wave season and how you can prepare, especially with promotions, to be ready to sell to those clients and those leads that we know are going to be there. So a little plug for them. There's still time to sign up for that, and it's free. So again, Avoya invests so much resource into education and making sure that independent agencies have what they need to succeed. And that's really what our department's all about. So I would kind of maybe end with just saying, um, you know, if there's anybody out there who thinks promotions are confusing, I get that, but let's have a conversation and maybe we can help you start to figure things out and get you on the right path.
Sounds like a smart idea. So here it is, Brandon. The last big question. Same guess. Everybody gets the same question. You've already answered it one time, but given your insider position in the industry, why do you remain so enthusiastic about the future of leisure travel?
Yeah, well, I think if you look around the industry, there's so much growth happening right now, right? There's tons of new ships coming out. We're seeing new product types emerge. We're seeing the cruise lines and our partners start to get into advertising channels that they've never been in, right? It's you almost can see a cruise commercial daily if you turn on the TV. Avoya even had our own connected TV commercial. So just I think the amount of growth that's there and obviously, speaking about Avoya personally, there's many more exciting things that we have in the works that are coming that I'm looking forward to. So for me, it's really just the growth is always there and it's always so exciting. And it's just something that I want to be a part of.
Very well said. I waited, I asked, I waited, I asked, and you delivered. You delivered. That's the best part of it, my friend. Brandon Gatti, everyone, Senior Director of Promotions for Avoya Travel. Brandon, thanks for your time and that great conversation. All my best to you and have a fantastic time in Vegas this weekend.
Thanks so much, Chris. This has been awesome. And thanks to everybody tuning in.
Absolutely. So next week, we're taking the week off. I don't know about you, but a week from now, I plan on being in a tryptophan haze, watching football, thinking about all the amazing things I'm thankful for. And I certainly hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving next Thursday. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, though, to celebrate the big 1 year anniversary of the travel agent education powered by Avoya platform. We're inviting my good friend Gina Hoyt back again to break down the first year numbers, the success stories, and help us envision the future for year 2 of that vital program. You're talking about building the foundation for your business. That's the 1 year anniversary special of the travel agent education powered by Avoya platform coming your way 2 weeks right here on Deck with Avoya. And since we're talking about the school, we'll talk about the fact that there is that early Black Friday special going on. You could join as low as $349 right now, but I'm telling you, think like a pro when you look at those packages. Think like a pro. But it's an award-winning education platform. You're only looking at an investment of 35 to 40 hours of online self-paced lessons to be able to complete the program. It includes the travel agent education certification, taking that exam, the fee that goes along with that. And of course, the discount to affiliate with Avoya Travel is tied in at least with your initial package. If you go pro, you're wrapping it all together. It's even a better value. So make sure you check that out. Again, avoyanetwork.com is where you're going to get all the information. And of course, we love our veterans. We thank you so much for your positive comments from last week's special show and our special guests. And we do continue with our veteran discount for both those active and retired and their spouses, taking $100 off any curriculum package for the travel agent education powered by Avoya. And then once you affiliate with Avoya, $100 off there as well. Again, details available either by talking to somebody on one of our teams or online at avoyanetwork.com. And then it gets you a chance to access the best resources in the industry. Resources like my guest Brandon Gatti talked about today, right? Agent power, live leads, marketing resources, agency support like you wouldn't believe. A team like Brandon's that helps you understand promotions, a program that has our amazing new Avoya Flights program, all part of that. So again, reach out to avoyanetwork.com, get that conversation started. And please always follow us online, all of our cool social media channels, because we never want you to miss a beat. We're on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. There's information out there. If travel in 2024 and thinking big is just something that you're excited about, definitely avoyanetwork.com is where you want to check that out. Or you can just send me an email, chris.green@avoyatravel.com. Pick up the phone, give us a call. But I'm telling you, avoyanetwork.com, that's where all the information, get that process started to be part of Avoya Travel, the #1 host agency in leisure travel. Again, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our special on the travel agent education powered by Avoya platform. A big thank you to Brandon Gatti, my special guest this week. Big thank you to Annabella for doing a wonderful job in producing our show. Thank you for being part of On Deck with Avoya. Until next week, take care, my friend. 2 weeks.